to our Wednesday, November 23rd, 2016 edition of the Government News Brief. In the news, first China-Latin American Media Summit hears presentations from regional media practitioners. Health Ministry pushing for establishment of regional health authorities across the country. And Kirivaton and New Amsterdam plan to construct boulevards to modernize their tongues. Stay tuned for these and other stories. Thank you for staying with us. I am Ranetta Fleur, and now for the details. Executive Secretary of the Economic Commission for Latin America and the Caribbean, ELAC, Alicia Barcena, speaking at the first China-Latin America Media Summit on Tuesday in Santiago, Chile, notes the importance of China as a trade partner. Barcena pointed out that in 2014, China replaced the European Union (EU) as the second largest trade partner in the region. Barcena added that trade between Latin America and the Caribbean and China multiplied 22 times since 2000 before declining in 2013 to 2015 due to the slowdown in China's economic growth. Guyana is being represented by the Director of Government Information Agency, Beverly Allard, Editor-in-Chief of Guyana Chronicle, Nigel Williams, and Editor at the National Communications Network, NCN, Onika Jones. Presenters from the Caribbean spoke of the challenges presented with the plethora of social media platforms. Among the issues raised were the need for communications and media reports to support and present developments taking place in both hemispheric blocks, the need to deepen collaboration and benefits of media outlets establishing their presence across both regions. Meanwhile, China's President Xi Jinping, who is on an official visit to Chile, has committed to forging stronger media collaboration between his country and Latin America and the Caribbean. The Chinese president noted that the summit can contribute to closer collaboration in a number of areas, including forging mutual learning and support to strengthen the influence and use of technology to show the world the reality of situations in China and Latin America and the Caribbean countries. Government remains committed to re-establishing regional health authorities across Guyana. Delicia Haynes has the details.
Regional health authorities, or RHAs, will directly be responsible for handling the health sector in the various regions and better manage allotted resources for the sector's development. Cabinet is expected to have a final say on the reintroduction of RHAs. It had been recognized that there are issues at regional democratic councils when it comes to prioritizing sectoral projects, and most of the time, the health sector is not given priority. According to Director of Regional Health Services Dr. K. Sheko, this affects the timely delivery of drugs, staff provision, and improved infrastructure. A team of health officials have visited a number of countries examining their RHA system.
Because of the poor collaboration, that is why we would have proposed regional health authorities. In fact, between June and July of this year, 2016, a team from the Ministry of Health was sent on a study tour to Trinidad and Tobago, Jamaica, and Belize. And why we were sent there was to examine how their regional health authorities operate and to look at best practice for Guyana.
The RDC in each region currently controls the administrative and financial aspects of the Ministries of Public Health, Education, Communities, and Presidency's Department of Public Service and Public Infrastructure. Regions 5 and 6 have established regional health authorities. For the Government News Brief, I am Delicia Haynes.
Some 60 young people will form the new Public Service Corps as the Bertram Collins College is launched in preparation for a well-trained professional public service. More in this report from Paul McAdam.
The one-year cadet program aims to equip entry-level public servants with the necessary criteria to carry out their functions. Senior Executive Director of the Bertram Collins College of the Public Service, retired Colonel Lawrence Paul, explains.
Which is designed to ensure that public servants entering the service have expert knowledge and a high level of intelligence that is needed to carry out their function.
Cadets between the ages of 17 to 21 will receive formal and informal training in 17 areas. Additional visits and detachments to public institutions will be part of the training, the retired Colonel Paul says.
The visits and attachment are meant to better prepare the cadets to take on their assigned roles in public service and widen their understanding of the structure and function of public institutions. But more importantly, they should be able to understand how Guyana works and should better appreciate why they should dispense their duties with integrity, impartiality, and objectivity.
Minister of State Joseph Harmon says the realization of the college is testimony to the government's commitment to improve the quality of the public service. The Minister of State told the cadets that they were now the face of the public service.
And you are the ones that we are relying on to make the face of the public service different than it was many, many years ago.
The college, which was officially launched today, is part of the President's commitment to ensure a well-trained and equipped professional public service. Paul McAdam for the Government News Brief.
The town councils of Riverton and New Amsterdam in Region 6 are eyeing the construction of boulevards as they push ahead with plans to modernize their towns. Isaiah Braithwaite has more.
The boulevards will be constructed incorporating processes that are environmentally responsible and resource efficient. Mayor of New Amsterdam, Kirt, Wynter, says that renewable energy will be used to power his town's boulevard.
The Tongue that was passed, all the proceeds from the Tongue would kickstart this boulevard project. We want it to be a green project where all the electrical supplies in terms of lighting and maintenance come from solar. So we're going to embark on that this month, and we're going to start that project.
Over at Riverton, Mayor Ganesh Gangadin says the council will be seeking to utilize the municipal waste in the construction of its boulevard. He explains also that the Riverton project includes the construction of green walkways.
We will be utilizing garbage or waste products like shredded plastics. We're hoping to have a shredder, so we can shred plastic and integrate it in the project, as well as wear bottles. All these beer drinkers, when instead of throwing away their beer, their stag and carry bottles and so, the council will now have use to those items. So we will take it, we'll crush them up, and we'll integrate it into the concrete for walkways and boulevards and so forth.
The boulevard strips being constructed in the two Region 6 towns would essentially be parks. The facilities will be complete with amenities such as free Wi-Fi, where families and school children can come to relax and do research. Isaiah Braithwaite for the Government News Brief.
Works on the Centennial Bauxite Arch in Linden are moving apace as the town prepares to celebrate a century of bauxite mining. Delon Sanko reports.
The 20 million Centennial Bauxite Arch, which will be situated at Casaroona Drive in Linden, is expected to be unveiled on Friday, November 25th by His Excellency Brigadier David Granger. According to the Bauxite Centennial Committee member Emmet Alves, arrangement for this grand unveiling ceremony is on track.
The arch was donated by BOSAI, Minerals Group Incorporated, Guyana. Right, the contractor involved in the operations, McRae Contracting Firm. The lighting aspect of the arch was done by Linden Electricity Company, Inc. Right. So McRae is now wrapping up operations on the site. Also, Linden Electricity, in collaboration with Linden Mine Secretariat, is also making final preparations as it relates to the preparation of the site for the occasion.
The unveiling of the arch is a part of a scheduled activities in observance of the 100 years of bauxite mining in Guyana. Other activities include schools debate and quiz competition, the unveiling of the commemorative stamp. The arch is set to be the highlight of the celebration.
As one of the activities for the 100 years celebration of bauxite mining in Guyana, the Bauxite Centennial Committee decided to make this project one of the feature activities to commemorate the event. At 100 years of bauxite mining in Guyana. So, as a result of that, we approached BOSAI seeking their assistance in setting up the structure.
The Centennial Committee has been set up to coordinate, oversee, and execute the planned activities for the 100-year celebration of bauxite mining in Linden. The committee comprises a former senior executive officer of the bauxite industry, union representative, communication personnel, BOSAI executive, Region 10 leaders, representative from Linden Museum, tourism sector, and the Linden Fund USA. Delon Sanko for the Government News Brief.
Women across Guyana are empowered to be financially independent through a Women's Entrepreneurship Forum. Details from Neola Damon.
Minister of Social Protection, Valda Lawrence, says a Women's Entrepreneurship Forum hosted by 2 non-governmental organizations falls in line with the ministry's mandate to help women. Minister Lawrence says it's also part of efforts to recognize the Sustainable Development Goals, SDG, for the Caribbean by 2030.
Some 120 female entrepreneurs and business owners from low-income backgrounds are expected to participate in an enriching capacity building and knowledge sharing exercise, the outcome of which it is envisioned will provide them with requisite business skills and knowledge so that they can achieve financial independence and be less susceptible to discrimination and violence. That's 120 women that we know can stand on their own.
The Ministry of Business has been gearing up the Small Business Bureau to assist small businesses and is also actively working to aid female entrepreneurs. Permanent Secretary, Ministry of Business, Ranjai Jagnat, explains her ministry's role in the process of starting a business.
As part of the ministry mandate and its goal in terms of investment promotion, workforce enhancement, and the promotion of exports and business development, and particularly so I want to mention the agencies that are associated with the ministry: the Guyana Office for Investment, the Small Business Bureau, the Guyana National Bureau of Standards, and the Consumer Protection Agencies. These are all agencies that will become relevant to you, or should be relevant to you, as you seek to develop your business or an initiative to better yourselves, better your lives, your family, and earn a little more income.
High Commissioner of Canada Pierre Guru applauds the partnership between the Volunteer U Corps, VYC, and Canada University of Service Overseas, CUSO, the 2 NGOs which hosted the forum. The High Commissioner notes that the forum will empower female entrepreneurs and businesses to achieve financial independence. By extension, this will reduce women's vulnerability to discrimination and violence. The forum, which was held in observance of Women's Entrepreneurship Day on November 19 and International Day for the Elimination of Violence Against Women, which will be observed on November 25th, was attended by women from Regions 2, 4, 6, 7, and 10. I'm Neola Damon for Government News Brief.
The Guyana Energy Agency, GEA, is supporting groups and individuals across Guyana with low-budget biodigesters. Zenil Williams tells us more.
One such beneficiary is the Fleur Shore Farmers Group, Region 10, previously called the Half Mile Farmers Group. GEA's energy engineer, Kenny Samaroo, says that the agency has been promoting a low-budget biodigester to assist farmers to get rid of waste more effectively. A biodigester is a system which breaks down organic waste, including compost, manure, or sewage waste.
One of the major benefits is that you can have free gas which you can use for cooking or maybe lighting through lantern. And it's an environmentally friendly way in getting rid of your farm waste or residue from your farms. And there's this residue or this effluent from the biodigester after the anaerobic respiration would have been taking place. You can use it to put on your plants and gardens if you have a farm.
Samaroo explains that the process in setting up the biodigester is to first have the feedstock, plastic, PVC fittings for the equipment, after which persons can contact GEA to inspect and complete the necessary steps.
After the biodigester is installed, once we get it working, what we do, we we basically train the person or inform them how to keep the biodigester running, because we're not available to be on the ground every day. So it normally, it's up to the person there to keep it running. So all they need to do is gather the manure and feed it into the biodigester. So gathering the manure, mixing it in some water, and feeding it to the biodigester. And based on their usage, maybe if they use it very often, you'll need to feed it or recharge it more often.
Meanwhile, member of the group, Roxanne Edwards, says that the biodigester makes production easier on her farm. Edwards notes that the biodigester was installed by the Ministry of Agriculture during the previous administration, but it never worked. However, when she contacted GEA for assistance, it was immediately provided.
We was able to get GEA to come in and help us to get the tank functioning. The biodigester functioning. It is working excellent. I don't think that we could get it better in the previous than what we has now. We would use this tank to adjust it to our oven that we do the ham.
Edwards notes that the group has been in existence for over 16 years and consists of 13 members who were trained at the Guyana School of Agriculture. I am Zanil Williams for the Government News Brief.
We have come to the end of this edition of the Government News Brief. The details of these and other stories can be found on GINA's website. We encourage you to subscribe to our website and YouTube channel. You can also like us and follow us on Facebook to be updated as the news unfolds. Remember to join again tomorrow for another edition of the Government News Brief. I am Ranetta Fleur. Thank you for watching.